Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are well. Um, you know, I had done a live last night because I wasn't supposed to be able to do it today, right? I had to go to work, but because it started raining, I got called that I don't have to go to work. So I'm here. It's all good. I still get paid via the union rules, right? So I'm pretty happy about that. About not having to go to work and still getting paid. Who wouldn't be happy about that? So I figured let me pay it forward and hop on here and do a reading. Maybe it'll help someone out today. So yeah, again, you know the drill about asking a question. If you have a question, go ahead and hop in the chat and I'll pull a card for you. If not, I'm not gonna be on here too long this morning, right? I just felt like yesterday when I did the reading in the night. I felt like an energy was hijacking the reading, right? Like I felt like this you know what? Let me go ahead and clear out this space real quick because I felt like I don't know. There was just a weird energy, right? I didn't like it. There was a collective message right in the beginning at the end, but then in the middle, nah, you know what? It's nothing, right? It was just like whoever was going through something specific, right? Their energy was just strong. So I guess maybe they needed to hear that message. I really don't know or what that was about, right? So, if anyone hops in here, then I'll pull a card for you. If not, then it's all good. We'll leave it at that. So, let's see. So, whoa, that's way too many cards. So, okay. Wow. Newt fertility. Uh-oh. So, obviously that could mean something like Linda Frisbee. I like your last name. Okay, let me go ahead right now after this. So fertility, right? So in this time, obviously, right? If you're connected with anyone and you don't want to end up knocked up, be careful, right? Hey, Brittany, good morning. Um, yeah, be careful at this time, right? I ain't even gonna try to. Yesterday, I was having a hard time reading the book, but you could always look it up, right? Knew who she was, right? It feels very like a very blessed. So just reading from what I'm getting, right? Even with the stars, it reminds me of like the star card, right? So right now, maybe you have all these ideas in your mind, right? And so right now you are in that star energy. That's why fertility, you could choose what you want to birth, right? It's like pick your own adventure kind of thing. What do you want to give birth to, right? With fertility. So just intuitively, that's what I'm getting, right? Without having to look into the book, right? So maybe right now is a time when you're full of ideas, right? Even her eyes are like a blank canvas, right? Like almost like you can create what you're seeing, right? Like your own vision, right? Because her eyes are just a blank canvas, right? Like what are you gonna project through those eyes and bring out into the world, right? What vision do you see for yourself or that you want to share with the world, right? So right now maybe you are in that energy, right? And like all the little stars in over her head, like all the ideas you have. That's a whole lot of ideas, right? So pick one, and give birth to something that you want to give. So I think that's the collective energy right now, which is great, right? I guess maybe because yesterday's reading I did in the night had to do with creativity and all that good stuff. So I feel like that's the overall message, right? Yeah. Okay, so real quick, let me since let me see if I could pull the card for Linda real quick. Does my person have good intentions? Okay, that's gonna be very blunt, right? It's gonna come out either yes or no. Ah, look at I split the card, and what is that? I mean, split the deck and oh, I forgot I have to block the little naked person. But yeah, the star. That's funny that the star when I split the deck, right? Let me show. I mean, you could take that. That's a yes card, so you could take that as a yes. The person has good intentions, but let me ask. Okay, does the person have? Does Linda Frisbee's person have good intentions? Maybe that was the message right there, right? But let me see. I love it when things resonate like that, though. Wow, that's okay. This came out in reverse, no in reverse, but I'm gonna have to clarify it because that's my bad, right? I never have these see, I don't like when these cards are all I don't know, right? I always try to have them good so that way I'm 100% sure when something because it was no in reverse, right? So let me just clarify that. Yeah, because there's way too many in reverse here. I guess last night when I put them away, or maybe right now when I shuffled, I always like to organize them, right? Okay, almost there. I feel like I got chills right now, so I feel like obviously you can always trust your intuition, right? I don't know, Linda, if you're already someone that's very intuitive, but when that thought popped in my head, I got chills. So I'm thinking you might already be someone that's intuitive, and so if your gut is telling you that, then you know, let me see. Oof. Blew out. So well, it says yes. I mean, it was the other one was no in reverse. So and there's that third eye, right? So maybe you're someone that is already intuitive. So you know, of course, see what is good intentions, right? I think you need to be clear. You need to speak with someone and say what you expect, right? Because your good intentions might not be their good intentions, right? So you just need to be clear on what it is you expect from somebody, right? Because to some people, they're cool with that, right? Like there's people that'll date you, and since you never really said you're exclusive to them, they don't see nothing wrong with dating other people while they're dating you because said, you never express what you're expecting, right? So that's why it's very important in a relationship to not assume, right? You already know the saying about assuming. Don't assume. Don't. Wow, this they should have already known that kind of stuff. With relationships should already, we're too grown in this stage of life to be dealing with that, right? Everybody in this phase of this whole collective, right? People should already know to express and explain and talk and communicate and stop assuming things, right? Because that's very childish to be like, well, they should already know or this and that. Because we're all different, right? We all have different perspectives. We all think differently. We all had different upbringings, no matter how alike we are. What the astrology says, it's all dependent on, how we were raised and all that. I know I went off into that little rant, but I feel like that's what they wanted me to say. So that's what it was, right? So according to this, he has good intentions, but um, or whoever, right? Does your person, right? Whether it's a he or she, whatever, the person has good intentions according to this, but just make sure you ask. Okay, so let me see what else. Yeah, if anyone wants a card, I don't know, Brittany, if you wanted me to pull a card for you, if anyone ascending universal butterfly, hello. So just let me know. If you all want me to pull a card for you, if not, then I'll just see what comes out for the collective. Oh, hmm. And there it is. Even this one, right? The throat chakra, right? Society. So right now, maybe there is that, right? Unity's coming together and stuff like that, but people need to express. See, look, it's celebration, home, right? And it is the holidays, right? Wow. So it's funny that this came out right now, right? I think this week here, whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, right? Some people don't, some people do, but most people still have some kind of gathering, right? Still celebrate. I remember I had a friend that their tradition, during Thanksgiving was just to go to a bar, right? It was a bunch of friends that would go to a bar, they invited me to come along to, and that was their annual tradition for I don't know how many years, right? So there's usually gatherings. So, it seems like during this time, that's what's happening, right? With the throat chakra, I don't know. I'm almost feeling like maybe there's people you haven't talked to in a while, and maybe it'll be a chance to make amends, right? Or to come together like that. Oh, okay. Okay, good. So I'm glad. See, I'm glad that was maybe that served as confirmation. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and regardless, right? Yeah, whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, there is always like good food a lot of times, right? So who doesn't like all the food, right? So it's always a good time to enjoy food, enjoy family and friends, or you know, even if you end up being alone, you don't have to be alone, right? There's always things. It's like where people volunteer to go give food to others, right? That could be a good thing to do this, Thanksgiving if you're spending it alone, right? Go volunteer at, where they hand out food to like the homeless or something, right? There's always something that you really don't have to be alone if you don't want to, right? It's all about how you choose to look at it. Hey, Devin, how's it going? Okay, so what other message for the collective? Mm. So maybe that went with what I said. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Community is gonna be okay. I'll pull a card for you right now, Devin. But see, the devil came out, right? For the collective energy. So it kind of went with what I said about you don't have to be alone if you don't want to be, right? Yeah, I got chills. So there's things like, you already know the devil, right? Like if you see the chains around their neck, they're really loose. They could throw them off at any time, but it's this illusion that they're bound, right? Or like that. It could be because that could be addicting, right? The woe is me mentality, right? The victim mentality. Even if you were victimized at one point in life, why would you let that energy win, right? Keep you bound for your whole life. Like at some point, it's okay to acknowledge, hey, something was done to me, but you know what? I'm gonna, whether you win or however, right? I'm gonna overcome that and be an inspiration to others, be an inspiration to myself, right? I'm not gonna let that energy win, right? So sometimes we stay bound with things, right? And so maybe the devil is coming out right now to remind you that, hey, enjoy. Why shouldn't you celebrate? Why shouldn't you enjoy? Even if you are alone, you could still, put yourself into a community, right? You don't have to be alone, right? So that's something just to throw out there. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so let me see. Does Shay still think about Devin? So you're already in contact, but you want to know if they're still thinking about you? Oh, let me see. Let's find out. Yes. Yes. I don't know. I don't know. And I think maybe you two have a spiritual connection because the crown chakra came out. Yes. I don't know. It feels like There's something there, right? I mean, if even if you look at 20, right, is the number two. So I don't know if you two are having a new beginning of sorts or something. Oh, it's no contact. Well, maybe there's communication in the spirit world, right? I don't know if you've had dream. Maybe they're having dreams about you, or you're having dreams about them. Um, I don't know. I forgot what was the whole scenario with that, right? Because I know you've asked something about that before, right? Um, if someone set a boundary, then it's best to just respect people's boundaries. But if it's that game of I'm waiting for them to contact me, or right now during these retrogrades, there's always something that comes up from the past, right? So that energy becomes a little stronger, and sometimes um the universe will almost squeeze you one person or the other to contact the other, and sometimes it is just for closure, right? Or a or like if before you didn't set a boundary, like if someone comes from the past and you didn't just like block them, or tell them nope, I'm not doing this again, it's a chance to do that. So just take it how it resonates. But it feels like you two have a spiritual connection regardless whatever happened, right? There's still some kind of connection. So do what you want with that, right? So the answer came out as yes, right? That they still think about you, but I don't know if that means that there's anything that's gonna happen with that. Because even that, right? Like because even this card, right? It's about the road that you take is gonna depend on you, right? That's what the card says, right? I'm blocking the little naked people right there, but the judgment, right? It's judgment. So we'll leave it at that, right? That the road you take is gonna depend on you. So okay, so you had a dream. Okay, so there it is, right? So clearly you two are connected. You two are connected in the spirit realm, right? So I'm not sure what the message was, right? In the dream. I would write it down if in case I'm guessing you're not gonna forget it, but you know, um, look at the message from the dream, see how it felt, right? Did it feel like it's something that you two are, yeah, just trust, yeah, trust the dream, see what it said to you, right? I feel like the dream was a message. So whatever you dreamed, if it was something about like, oh, don't call me or something, then that's what it meant. Or if it was something a little different, then hmm, I don't even know why I shuffled and this came out. This came out. The third, compassion. That's interesting. I don't know if there was a weird when you two disconnected. Maybe right now it's a compassionate time, right? The holidays. So even that, right? Right now, people during the holidays, sometimes people do let their guards down a little, right? So I'll just throw that out there. Again, respect people's boundaries, but if people want to make amends, it is a good time to make amends, right? So if there's anyone out there that you need to get closure with or stuff like that, people do tend to be compassionate. Not always, depending what they got going on in their life, but people do tend to be compassionate. So even this person, right? Like their cups already closed, right? The Queen of Cups, but she still has compassion, right? Maybe she's like, all right, well, I'm still gonna be compassionate, but it doesn't mean like something's pouring into her cup or she's pouring out of the cup, right? Because it's already closed. But she's still gonna show that compassion because she's mature, right? So I'll just put it at that. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. Okay, so for Brittany, hey Monroe, how's it going? Okay, let me get Brittany's real quick and then I'll get yours right now. Does spirit give you any clues as to why my life has been so emotionally tough when I'm always putting my best foot forward? Like, am I supposed to be the Okay, let's ask that. Let's ask that. Why is your life so emotionally? Ooh, when I split the deck, right, as I'm about to shuffle, the tower came out, right? So what I get from that is that it is for a lesson, right? Maybe you haven't learned the lesson yet, and so that's gonna depend on you. But let me go ahead and ask. Okay, so emotionally tough to that. So I mean, the tower obviously is a lesson, right? I mean, this wanted to come out right, so obviously, see, is it supposed to be so emotionally tough? No, and look, it is the heart, right? And what is that, right? It's a knight charging like to war. Maybe you are supposed to stand up for yourself, right? And it's talking about taking advantage of opportunity. So maybe there is that, right? Man, I had a weird because I had a few dreams last night, and I think one of them was something like that, like or I brought up right once when I was gonna leave a job and I just wasn't working up to it, and finally they called me into the office, and before I just blurted it out because that I didn't want to be at that job no more because I wasn't doing it right. So sometimes in those, you got to find the opportunity when there's you probably have chances to speak up all the time and you don't do it. So maybe something's pushing you to do that, right? Like this person charging in, right? That's your lesson. That's your tower, right? In this life until you learn to speak up, stand up for yourself. I think you're gonna have to keep going through that. Let me see. Let's see if there's any. Hey, Tobias, how's it going? Jeez. Wow, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah. I was shuffling and the card came out again. So Brittany, I mean that, but this time it came out also, and the Pisces, right? See, until you sit in your throne, just right there. Look at that. Someone very knowledgeable, right? Very intelligent. I guess that, right? I think you're gonna keep going through your lessons as hard as they may be until you learn and then you sit on your throne right there, right? I don't hear just intelligence, but emotionally intelligent, right? Until you learn to control those emotions, which I know for Pisces can be the task, right? Can be the task, a task. Yeah, absolutely. So, yep. And maybe that with you, it's gonna have to be, see, the third eye. Like you're gonna have to learn sometimes to use your mind over the emotions, right? Understanding that you're an emotional being. So your lessons in this life are gonna be at those emotions, right? And in those moments where you feel your emotions just going crazy, you're gonna have to stop, sit still, right? Bam. Listen to your third eye. You're gonna have to listen to your mind, like mind over, not that mind over heart, right? You don't gotta be a heartless person, but just know that, okay, hey, this is part of who I am, right? I'm made of all this water. I'm made to be very emotionally intelligent, but at the same time, you can't let that rule you, right? Because in this life, that's part of your tower moments, right? You're gonna have to keep going through those until you learn. So it, it might not be easy, but yeah, yeah. So that's gonna be it. Okay, back to Monroe. Let me see. I know that was a while. Let me see. Okay, do you see a new job opportunity coming? Okay, good morning. Okay, let me see. New job opportunity for Monroe. What time is it? Okay. Take a few more if anyone has. Maybe like two more. questions if anyone has them, and then I'm gonna have to go. New job opportunity for Monroe. Oof. Yeah, I mean, I heard yes, and there it is. Look at the Queen of Pentacles. So yes, straight to the point. So there for Monroe. That was for Monroe. In case I know I said it, but just in case. Let me see. Uh, do you see me attracting in more love opportunities in my romantic life? More love. How many love opportunities do you have already? Oh, thank you, Brittany. Really appreciate that. Okay, so attracting more love opportunities. Attracting more love opportunities. I think that yes. Well, bam. And out of all things, the two of cups. So straight to the point, Tobias, right? Straight to the point. What you choose to do with that is up to you. But you know, there it is, right? Yes. Let me see. Did I mean, that's very. I'll ask for you, right? Ascending universal butterfly. I'll ask for you. Let me see, but just absolutely, you're welcome. So for ascending universal butterfly, I heard soon, right? That's what I heard in my head, but let me see if they want to be more specific. I mean, that's a really whoa, that one. Damn, that's kind of. I mean, Queen of Wands, Leo. Could it be till next Leo season? I mean, that's a ways. So I don't know if that's. Let me see. Let me see. Let me That's a ways, right? Leo se Would it be Leo season? Okay, let's clarify that one. But oof. This could mean one of two things, right? Sagittarius, because they had said soon, but Sagittarius season, or it could literally mean patience, right? Have patience, but it'll be soon, right? Because that's the first thing I heard. Hmm. Well, anyways, your question was, oh, when? It was when, right? So, s- yeah. I mean, I could go with what I heard audibly was soon, right? And then, so I know whether it's Leo season or just be patient. Okay, I'll split the difference and see. As I split the deck, celebration. So maybe it is coming soon, and obviously, right? Celebration, like yay, we sold we sold the property, right? So let me see. Absolutely. You're very welcome. Hey, Devil Life, how's it going? Saima, is that what you said? Saima. Welcome. Um, so yeah, I could pull one more if anyone. else has a question, um, yeah. Oh, okay. You felt the same thing, so maybe that's the clarification there. So, and patience, right? Patience, patience. That's funny because I literally made a video about that this morning that I haven't posted more for the podcast, and it was about that, right? Like about kind of that, right? Like God's timing, the spirit world is always working for you, right? But you sometimes we do have to be patient. What's up in your life? Okay, let me see. What's up in your life? Let me see. It's funny because the spirit world has a sense of humor. I feel like they just said a joke. Freaking. Oh, that's so funny. Let me see. I don't know. Are you like in any leadership roles or anything? Have you been seeing lizards, right? Lizards are good luck, so that's what's jumping out to me right now. Are you in Aries by any chance, or has your third eye been opening? I don't know. Maybe there's something if you've been trying to get into a leadership role, maybe it's coming. But this came out too, right? So it's like heading off in a new direction. So I don't know if you've been going in a new direction, and maybe from that new direction, there's gonna be something where you'll be more empowered, right? You'll be in a more leadership role, if you've already made this decision, right, to go in a new direction with something. So that's kind of what's coming through. Mm, absolutely. So, ye- yeah. So let me see. Then I think on that note, let me pull one more overall message for the collective, and then on that note, um, we could close it out, right? Like an overall energy for the rest of the day. Let's see what comes out here. Yes, last night the message was all about right movement, right? Like really get out there and move your body, right? Sometimes we need that, right? If we're just sitting still, because here it's been raining, right? But I wanted to go for a hike in the mountains and I couldn't, so I did two yoga classes back to back, and yeah, and that barely like I could have probably gone for another one. So the movement might be important, but let's see what comes out. Overall energy for the collective. Oof. Wow. Power totem animal protection. So maybe connect with our animal relatives, and that's beautiful. Look at the way that the polar bear is just like, I got your back. Don't you worry about nothing. Wow. It's just sitting there like, I dare anyone to even come at you, right? Oof. Like last night I had a dream of a little totem animal, and it was like I woke up like super happy, right? So that's funny that this card came out, right? 12. Yeah, it was crazy. Let me see. Power totem animal protection. The power totem animal has the same attributes as your spirit totem animal, but its role is focused primarily on energetic protection. It shelters us from injustice against the wrongdoings we may experience and shields our energy field so that the darkness we sometimes face in life does not overwhelm us. They are always there to help, serve, and protect, acting as a reminder that someone always has our back during times of struggle and hardship by moving energy around us to help keep us safe. Their energetic strength walks alongside us as we make our journey through this life, defending us at every step. Before we enter this life, our spirit totem animal and our power totem animal are already connected to us, even without our awareness of them. They have a spiritual connection to us all. Once you are aware of their existence, include their unique spiritual medicine in your life. Each species of the animal nation carries specific characteristics and traits that bring balance and wisdom into the world. They are here to help you in your journey. So speak to them from the heart and request to know them. See, so if you haven't met your totem animal, speak to it, right? Ask it to be revealed so that you know who's there with you, right? And then learn about what medicine spirit totem that spirit animal totem carries, right? They will give you signs to let you know who they are, which will allow you to deepen your existing connection to them. If you have drawn this card today, it might be a nudge from your power totem animal that they are attempting to create a closer connection to you. It's time to trust in the wisdom that they can impart to you and in the protection they will provide. If you are unsure what power totem animal walks with you, ask for it to be revealed to you. Call upon its spiritual medicine circumstance and for a circumstance you may be facing in life. Wow, that's beautiful. I love it. And so what in the world? All the cards. One of my whole deck of cards just fell on the ground, like the whole thing, and I don't even know what I moved for the whole deck. So that was pretty interesting. But let me share this about the totem. Like last night, I had a dream that I was like literally in a doomsday scenario, right? It was like a whole apocalyptic. Everyone was living kind of in ruins and everything, and I had my totem animal with me, and I was happy as can be. Like I didn't care that the whole world around me was this whole apocalyptic scene. All I was focused on was like I was like just spending time with my totem animal, and I woke up happy as can be, right? Even in that situation, that the whole world was in an apocalyptic state, it was just me and my little totem animal. So I would advise anyone out there to connect with your totem animal, right? Like it says, ask for it to be revealed. You know, they're your companion, right? They'll bring you comfort in a time when you know you feel alone and all that because you're never alone, right? That's the whole message, right? In that. So on that note, I'll end it there. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, right? Everybody that asked questions. Always a pleasure. It's an honor, right? To be able to read for you, right? To connect with you. And yeah, just be gentle with yourselves. Be kind to others during this time. You never know what someone else is going through, right? So I know even when you feel stressed out and all that stuff, especially that, right? During these holiday season, maybe someone is alone, right? And you don't know that. And if you run into people that have some kind of energy, we just don't know what they're going through. So on that note, thank you so much, and I'll see you all soon. Absolutely, you're welcome. Thank